The writings of John Gardner have always been important to me. Gardner always said that in a democracy, it's everyone's responsibility to stand up and not stand aside. I was born in East Lansing, Michigan, in the shadow of Michigan State University. My parents were both graduates of Michigan State. They were guides in terms of what a satisfying life and a life well lived should look like. To say that I had an inauspicious beginning in high school would be an understatement. I cared much more about sports and much more about girls than I cared about classroom and study. But I really caught fire in college. I did all three of my degrees at Michigan State, a time of enormous innovation and growth. I spent a year in the president's office at Michigan State on a Rockefeller Foundation fellowship. I was talking to Cliff Wharton, who was president of the university at the time, and he said to me, the best advice I can give you, Jim, is find something that you believe is important to do, that you love to do, and throw yourself into it, and your career will take care of itself. I met Rachel back in 1969 at Drake University. I had gone there for a couple of years between master's degree and doctorate. We found that we had an awful lot in common. We're both active outdoors people. We were both from Michigan, so we began to date in Des Moines, Iowa. We were married the following spring.
We adopted a child and then 7 months later had a biological child, and there was a time when we were changing 180 diapers a week, and he got right in there and did it. He was always fun, and now he's a mentor, and they come to him for advice, and so it's been fun for him to watch his role as a dad really evolve over the years.
I found a young university able to dream ambitious dreams, and that's what you look for if you want to build. The other piece of the consideration when I came here was that Kentucky said if we're going to thrive as a state and provide opportunity for our citizens, higher education's got to step up and lead. And that's all I needed to hear. And we packed our bags in East Lansing and we headed for Cincinnati.
In 1996, I graduated from NKU. It is nowhere near the same school today. It has state-of-the-art facilities, both from an academic perspective and from an athletic perspective, and the campus itself is grown immensely.
Jim had some of that early vision to create a real sense of place at NKU. The other thing he did is he quickly looked out and said, we have to bring the community into the campus.
Every university is located in a community, but may not be embedded. NKU, I felt, could become a national leader in the extension and application of knowledge to advance community progress. And I think we achieved that.
Jim came to this community, and Jim has made a difference in this community because he's not blinded by the history of this community.
I think people who have been in a community their entire life tend to focus more on the parts than the whole. I think newcomers tend to see the whole and not just the parts because it's the first thing you see. The river, to me, means nothing. When we moved here, it was just another river.
He should have been a barge captain. He navigates the river so incredibly well. He did an unbelievable job of bringing the very best of Northern Kentucky to Cincinnati, bringing the very best of Cincinnati to Northern Kentucky.
I think every metropolitan region has a heart. And Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky have a great heart. At a time when op-ed writers are saying that we as a nation are focused more on me than we, it seems to me that in Greater Cincinnati we are still focused on we.
He's one of the gang, right? And that just has made a big difference in his success. He was like that on campus. He was a student's kind of president.
I'm very proud of the new student union, and I'm proud of how that happened. That was the student government going to the Board of Regents and saying, we'd like to name the student union after the Votrubas. And that was pretty special for us. I always felt that I had a special relationship with students, as did Rachel. And that just symbolized that specialness for me as I was getting ready to leave the presidency. I chair the St. Elizabeth Healthcare Board at a time when healthcare is crazy. I mean, it's uncertain, it's chaotic, and it's full of opportunity.
We have probably over 800 graduates of NKU working at St. Elizabeth Healthcare. So I think that his emphasis on improving the quality of student that is graduating has not only helped the economics of our community, but it's helped the healthcare in our community.
The ability of St. Elizabeth to make a difference in the lives of others is something that I can really get my arms around and feel great commitment to. Same way, of course, for my work in education. I believe if we can give students a healthy start at age 3 and 4, it's going to pay off for all of us long term. And of course, the university is still at the center of what I'm about also. In this doctoral program in which I teach, I am exposed to future superintendents and principals and higher education administrators, and I love that because I'm at a stage in my life where I want to share some of the lessons, some of the successes, some of the failures, and listen to their passion and hopefulness as they plan their future.
He has a personality that just draws people in. He's smart, he's articulate, and his vision is one that attracts people because it's for people and for the region.
At the end of the day, the person we have to be true to is ourselves. So live one's life with integrity, with hopefulness, with trust, and a belief in oneself and the ability to do special things.